Welcome to Poppers and Popcorn, the podcast that puts gay stuff in movie stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we do butt stuff to movies.
Butt stuff to movies. That's a better intro than anything we've ever done.
That was actually a really good intro.
We do butt stuff to movies. Here, episode 8. We nailed it.
Butt stuff to movies. That's what we're going to stick with.
Butt stuff to movies.
Goodness, I really hope like one day like a director of an actual film that we review listens to this and is like, what? Fuck?
I hope it's like Paul Thomas Anderson or something, or like,
I want it to be like
Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah, I want it to be Clint Eastwood.
Although I'm never gonna watch The Mule.
I'm never like. So it's really funny. I like every time I see like the trailer for The Mule, I'm like, the more I look at Clint Eastwood, the more I'm like, I think in this movie he just turns to dust.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that too. Like he just looks like he's wilting.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm like, I mean, my birthday was Tuesday, but like I'm still like in the thralls. Well, not really. It's over now, really, when you think about it. But like I was like in the thralls of like my birthday week up until like yesterday. So like, nice. Yeah, it was really fun. Like I've just been doing a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
How about you? How are you?
I'm good. I've had a busy week. You know, last week of the year before Christmas is always like movies.
Yeah, you were watching all the movies.
And also like lots of like Christmas drinking.
Ooh, holiday drinks. Those are always fun.
Drunk, I feel like, for like 2 weeks straight. Not like right now, though.
But just like in general.
In general. The amount of drinks that I've had in the last 2 weeks, I mean, I've essentially lost my my perfect washboard abs from California. They're gone.
Now it's just like a beer belly and like a beer bottle
now
to
I'm
match.
Just like Jabba. Like
you're a Jabba. You have like a stepdad body, not like a dad bod, but like a stepdad bod.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I have. What was the gayest thing that happened to you this week?
It's weird. Like I feel like I don't really think gay things have really happened to me. I mean, besides like I had like the gayest birthday week, and I'll tell you that much. Like we were at we bar hopped gay bar Saturday, and then Sunday we did brunch, and then from brunch we went to Stonewall.
I love Stonewall on Sundays.
I don't.
On Sundays?
Oh my god, the freaks come out on rainy Sunday afternoons.
Well, maybe I'm one of the freaks.
I don't know. It was like, I don't know, maybe because it was rainy or whatever, but I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is the crowd. Ugh.
Oh god.
And then afterwards we went to like a sushi place, and like Tuesday I went to like my actual birthday, I went to like this like hot pot and barbecue place in Chinatown. It's called like 99 Favorite Taste.
Oh yeah, no, that place is great.
The place is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
One of my friends works there, so like she took me there, and I was like, oh, this is fucking dope.
I've been to that one a couple of times. We went there for like a work lunch once.
It's fucking
It's so good.
Yeah.
I had pig brain there once.
They do have pig brain. How was pig brain?
It wasn't good.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It
wasn't very good.
I don't think the brain of any animal would be good. So what's the gayest thing that happened to you this week?
So I'm full disclosure. I'm 27 years old. I don't know if that's come across on the podcast.
This has come across like 6 times.
Has it? Okay. Well, I'm 27 years old. Some fucking twinkerton on Grindr was like, I really date older men. I was like, hey, Grindr, not trying to date you. Be older. He was 23. Older? That's like I'm a senior, you're a freshman, and you think I'm an older man?
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Only a 4-year
That's my whole thing. So fuck this guy. That was the gayest thing that happened. The other gayest thing that happened, because I had two. My very precious roommate, he bought presents for my roommate and I, and I had like been running around, so like he put the presents under our Christmas tree like on like Tuesday or something, and I didn't get to open mine until like Friday morning, but my roommate opened hers in front of mine, and it's like a nice like wholesome book or whatever. And
a Bible?
No, not a Bible. Okay,
you said a wholesome book.
Okay, no, but it was just like a very thoughtful like nice gift for a roommate. And then mine's in like a big bag with like a bunch of like stuffing and stuff. And I take out all the tissue paper, and at the bottom is the tiniest bottle of poppers. And I fucking died.
Oh, he's fucking gold.
So there's a love and hate in my gayest things that happened this week. Love for my roommate Patrick, and hate for twinkertons who think that 27 is old. Bitch.
I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people who think 25 is old, so like
anyone who thinks 25 is old is just, I mean, they're fucking idiots, and they're probably like 17, but
I don't date older men. It's like 4 years, whatever.
No, thank you. Also, again, like I said, not trying to date. You're fucking 23. I'm on Grindr. You live like down the street. Let's have sex.
Well, he's clearly not going to have sex with you because he doesn't.
Yeah, it's true.
Clearly, that was his way of saying the muffin shop is closed.
Well, what he actually said was, I don't really hang out with older men, but you seem cool. I was like, great.
I don't really see older guys, but if I were to see an older guy, I'd consider it.
Wow.
That's hilarious. All right.
I know this isn't the Keep It podcast, but he can fucking keep it. Asshole.
Well, then let's move on to something happier. What is your news item for the week?
What's your news item? Because I have to look mine up.
Okay, my news item is Entertainment Weekly dropping the Aladdin stuff. The first images from the Aladdin movie.
What do you
Will Smith is Genie. I'm not mad at that. It's really, I go back and forth between being a fan of Will Smith and not, and the only reason why I go back and forth is because I love everybody else in his family but him.
Yes.
A lot. I have a lot of affection for the rest of his family, not so much him. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
Who's your favorite Smith?
My favorite Smith? Easily Willow.
Okay.
Followed up by Jaden a close second.
Jaden is awesome.
And Jada's a very right on the heels of that. And Will Smith is if they're both it's really a first place, a 1.3 place, and a 1.6 place. And Will Smith is 11th place.
So wait, as far as as Aladdin is concerned, Will's makeup is really not makeup. The way his facial hair is odd.
Yeah,
it looks weird.
All of it looks weird, but I mean, I'm fine with that. Did you see the guy they casted as Jafar?
Oh, he's really hot.
Yeah, I'll look up his name right now because he's a fucking.
He is a smoke show if I've ever seen one, and I have.
A smoke show?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
It's a hot person.
Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. We have him, but I just need his name, and no article is saying his name.
I'm sure it's somewhere.
It is. The live action, freaked out, CGI blue, whatever.
He's really hot, though.
His name is Marwan Kenzari.
Ooh.
A Dutch actor with credits in The Mummy, Ben-Hur, and The Promise. Oh, he was in the recent remake of Ben-Hur, which I meant to go see, but I didn't.
I'd love to be welcome to his Marwan.
Ugh. Marwan is his name.
I know.
Well, what's your news item while I just stare at him? I'm literally staring at him on my phone screen.
No, he's insanely hot.
Jesus Christ. Well, not... his head is shaped a little weird. It's
it's pretty.
He's hot when he's shirtless.
I disagree. No, he's hot in every situation possible.
He's hot when it's a little bit more zoomed in. The Jafar getup looks a little weird.
I don't know. This whole Aladdin movie, I'm not totally on board.
I don't care about, I don't care about it. I'm very removed from it, but it was just really interesting to see Entertainment Weekly do it because, whenever Entertainment Weekly releases things, typically they release the shittiest looks possible from it. Because, when you see things, they tend to, look better. When they released the stuff from Infinity War, they chose a lot of the weirder, not the best looking images from things.
Well, realistically, it's probably the studio giving them.
Yeah, the studio isn't going to give you
no, it's not going to give you
the best of what they have, You would
think the images would come on, when especially for a movie like Infinity War, when you release images, it's just going to be here's a headshot of Robert Downey Jr.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's basically what the movie was.
First but yeah, so
Endgame. I'm so excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm kind of excited.
I'm excited for Captain Marvel and Endgame. I'm excited for both.
I'm most excited of the Marvel movies coming out next year. I'm most excited for Endgame.
I'm more excited for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Nah, I don't need a Spider-Man movie that doesn't take place in New York.
I want Jake Gyllenhaal to put both of his hands together into a fist, put it in my mouth at once. That's what I want from Jake Gyllenhaal.
What?
Yeah,
you want him to fist your mouth?
You're not really fisting because it's
no, it's more of
he's gonna clasp his hands together. Like this, so.
Yeah,
I'm right now acting it out. And then, he's gonna, it's... Because it's not gonna be aggressive.
Okay.
It's gonna be real loving. He's gonna just, slowly... Because, your mouth needs time to adjust. So, he's gonna kind of slowly do it. And then he's gonna go all the way in. And then he's gonna just look me in the eye. It's only gonna be in there for, a minute. It's not gonna be in there for that long.
Pump your stomach?
Not at all. Point? He's just gonna hold it there. We're gonna look in the eye. And then he's gonna, take his hands out. He's gonna shake them off. And we're gonna go on about our day.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it can happen on the subway or something. It doesn't really have to be an intimate moment.
Well, Okay. My news item.
Yeah, please.
The Blacklist came out this week. Which, if you don't know what The Blacklist is, I mean, I don't know where you are, but it's a list of scripts that go unproduced every year, and it's like usually they pick the best of the best. And there's a couple that are big LGBT stories, and one of the ones that really stuck out to me that my friend actually had sent me and pointed out to me is one called Queen, which is based on a true story of the world's first openly transgender high school prom queen. Her name is Corey Ray. And I'm really hoping that somebody picks up this thing. I think that would be a really cool story. It could be a trans story in the same vein maybe as like a Love, Simon or something that's just really open and like trying to appeal to mass audiences and will be like a wide release and has that like teen comedy kind of vibe. Like I'm ready for that. I think.
Have there been any other movies from the Blacklist that have been picked up? Like any big movies, like in the past?
I don't know if any. Oh, big movies picked up from the Blacklist. Oh yeah, there's a couple like Best Picture winners. Best Blacklist movies ever. I forgot which ones were like huge. Juno.
Oh,
Juno in Bruges, Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh shit! 500 Days of Summer. Argo.
Yeah, Argo.
Oh, The Beaver.
The Beaver.
Oh, Looper. Holy shit! The Imitation Game. Superbad.
The Beaver.
That makes sense that Superbad was there.
It makes sense for my beaver.
Okay.
Okay, so all those movies are Blacklist movies.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So yeah, no, there usually is one or two a year that gets produced into something that's like pretty solid the year after. So yeah, no, that's my news item. I'm hoping that somebody sees that, reads it, and like runs away with it.
Just runs and has fun with it. Does whatever.
Yeah, I don't know who would be my pick to direct that. But
a movie about a transgender.
Let's get a trans director. You know what? Let's get an untested trans director. Let's do a fun high school indie. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do a trans director to tell trans stories. I mean, it's
we
helpful,
don't have to, but like, why the fuck not? But how many trans directors are there really out there?
But that's the thing. I can't even like think of any besides like the Wachowskis.
That's fine, but I'm sure that there are many trans students in film school who would like their chance at directing and probably have the talent. So let's give them a shot. And
I think a movie like this would work well if it went straight to Netflix.
Yeah, it could be.
And then Netflix did the thing where they do it on stream and then send it to theaters also.
Maybe.
But because I don't know. Movies like that, I feel like I like it better when movies like that go to streaming, because like a lot of times when you want to go, like is a lot of times like the domestic numbers for movies when studios put them out, if they're not that good, studios kind of halt doing things like that and then we end up getting 25 million more franchise movies because those make the most money in theaters, you know? And like, I kind of think movies like that do better on services like Netflix, because if you ask me right now, I think streaming is so much more accessible in the world where people are used to sitting in the house to watch things.
That's true. I mean, I'm always going to be pro the theatrical experience.
No, I love the theatrical experience. What's like 100%.
Well, it depends on how it gets picked up. If it gets picked up, if we're going to go like really really indie with it and experimental, maybe then no, I want to see it in the big screen.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you should go indie and experimental with this, you know, especially if we're going to.
You don't have to. I think you could definitely do a Love, Simon type movie out of this.
How well did Love, Simon? I was just gonna ask, how well did Love, Simon do in the box office?
Poorly, unfortunately.
That's that's the problem.
But I think it would have done well on, as far as how well it would have done on a streaming service. I don't know if it would have been that much better.
I think it would have, because like movies like To All the Boys Who I Love the Most and like that movie did so fucking good on streaming, but it wasn't. I love them. Yeah, well, that's like the name of the movie, right? To All the Boys I've Loved Most.
I've loved before, I think.
I don't fucking know.
I watched it with my friends while we were like pre-gaming, and I didn't really like it that much.
I watched that movie 4 times because I'm a 17-year-old girl.
Oh my god! I did watch Alex Strangelove.
I watched Alex Strangelove, and I felt interesting ways about it. We'll talk about that during Pride Month. Anyway.
All right. So,
what movie are we doing?
Week.
We're doing Aquaman, directed by James Wan, starring Jason Mamoa, Amber Heard, Willem Dafoe, Nicole, featuring Nicole Kidman.
Nicole fucking Kidman.
It also has Patrick Stewart.
Wilson. Patrick Stewart is Xavier.
Yes. Yes. You know what the problem is?
What?
I just always hear Patrick, and I just automatically always think Patrick Stewart because I just want him to do everything. But it's Patrick Wilson. Ugh, I've loved that man since Insidious.
Since Insidious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When he threw that fucking, I know, but like when he threw that pan at Rose Byrne, I was like, man, I wish it was me.
I liked it when he fucked Kirsten. I liked it when he fucked Kate Winslet on the washer in Little Children.
Ah,
yeah,
that was a thing. It
was really hot.
He was also really good in Young Adult.
He was good in Young Adult.
He was very attractive.
He's a good actor. No, he's a really good actor.
Yeah, he was very attractive in Young Adult.
He has a great role on HBO's Girls, but anyway.
Was he on Girls?
He's in like 1.5 episodes.
He plays
has one episode that's like all to himself, kind of. He and Lena Dunham have like a Bible episode that's all of them, and then he has a cameo in the final season too.
Okay.
Yeah. But the episode that he has with Lena Dunham, where it's just the two of them, is like maybe my favorite episode of the whole show.
Were they seeing each other?
No, she kind of just like stumbles into him at like her coffee shop, and then they fuck, and like they spend the whole day like together, and it's like about her experiences with like an older person and how she needs to grow up.
I feel like I've seen that episode. Was that like season 2 or 3? Was that like season 2 or 3?
I think it was season 2. It was before the show got bad.
Okay, so I definitely did see that episode because I watched the first 3 seasons straight.
Okay, yeah, it was in season 2.
Okay, so in other news,
Aquaman. Aquaman. Tangent on HBO's Girls in the midst of the Aquaman.
I know, exactly.
Who would have thunk?
On a gay podcast, right?
Well, shocker, yeah.
So before we do this, as you know, I've been trying to implement because I'm a weirdo. What was your first impression of this movie, like when you heard about it or anything like that?
Well, you know, I mean, DC hasn't been putting out the best movies, and before Wonder Woman. I wasn't even sure that
this was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because DC keeps being like, we're going to do these 6 movies, and then maybe one of them happens.
Maybe.
And then they'll announce a Joker movie and start filming it like the month after. What the fuck is DC even doing? But when James Wan came on, I was kind of pumped. I like James Wan. He did one of my favorite horror movies from this decade, The Conjuring. He did the original Saw, which has somehow gotten underrated somehow.
Yeah, but he's very imaginative.
Yeah, and he's done some of the better. He's involved in, I forget which Fast and the Furious sequel he did. And I think
did he do Tokyo Drift?
No, he didn't do Tokyo. He was one of the recenter ones.
Was a racist.
One of the ones that were insane.
It wasn't 5.
No, it wasn't 5. I want to say it was like 7.
It was probably the one with Charlize. It was the one with It was the one with Charlize, I think.
I don't know. I want to say
which was 7.
I want to say it was the one. No, 8 was Charlize. I want to say it was the one where they had to kill Paul Walker, which they didn't actually kill him, but
they should have.
No. No, he did Furious 7. Yeah, but that's the one where they had to say goodbye to Paul Walker. Mm-hmm. But no, he's a good filmmaker.
He's a really good filmmaker.
And Jason Mamoa didn't necessarily he didn't grab me so much in Justice League, but I almost felt that it was more of the way the character was written, because Aquaman doesn't really have much of a role in Justice League. But no, so
you put him out of water, and it's like he can punch,
and he has like a trident, and he like goes
like we kept throwing him in the sky, and I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, exactly. So okay, yeah, sorry, this is the longest. What's my first impression? But no, he in some. I was, after Wonder Woman, with James Wan directing, I was excited, but cautious.
Okay.
Very, very
cautiously
cautious.
excited. Cool.
How about you?
Okay, so when it comes down to DC in general, one of my favorite characters is Aquaman.
Okay.
I love that blonde man in that orange and green suit. Like, ever since I was a kid, I was like, that's my choice for man. I don't know why. Yeah.
Do you ever have Drew dress up as Aquaman?
No, not at all. I'm not one of those weirdos.
Are you Aqualad?
Not at all. I'm not one of those weirdos. And which Aqualad? Because if I'm the one from Young Justice, I'm in. But
yeah, fair enough. He's hot.
I was really excited just to hear about the movie in general because I'm really happy that it was being made. Mm-hmm. When it came down to Justice League, I thought Jason Mamoa was like cool, but again, I thought it was useless. So I was really excited to give him a movie. And then like when I saw the trailer, I was really excited because like
trailer's fun.
The trailer is fun, but like I also like know James Wan is an imaginative filmmaker, and I know for a fact if like left up to his own devices, it was good. And also, the one thing we didn't really hear about studio intervention here as much as we've heard from previous DC movies.
Or even in general, because like I feel like Marvel studio intervention is so ingrained in the process that you just don't hear about it. Whereas like when DC intervenes a little bit, you hear about it because it's still like unusual or whatever.
Well, when Warner Bros. Interferes, Warner Bros. Interferes.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they interfere enough where they're like,
Man of Steel.
They're like, there's 3/4 of this movie we like, but if you just like reshot it, that would be cool.
Disney's done the same thing with Star Wars too.
Yeah, like it's studio intervention is kind of like a problem in and of itself, but like I didn't really hear that about from this movie, so I was really excited about it. And then like going into the movie, I mean, I was happy. If I'm just gonna start this off, I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I liked the movie a lot. And one of the reasons why I liked it a lot is because like you can tell everyone who was in it was having fun. Even the people who couldn't act were still having fun. There were a couple of people in this movie who couldn't act at all.
Who do we want to call out?
The guy who played Black Manta.
Yeah, he's not great.
Could not act. He had one emotional scene and blew it.
Yeah, that's true.
All he needed to do was act in one scene. The rest of the movie, he could have done nothing. He just needed to act in this one scene, and he was just like, well, I'm trying.
That character had such a badass look, though.
Yeah, he looked fucking cool. Yeah, I mean, everyone was having fun on the movie. Jason Momoa was like, whatever, I'm just gonna have fun with this. Even Amber Heard, who like
I loved her.
Notoriously doesn't show feelings on any set, was having fun in the movie, which I liked. Look, I don't know. I was just like having fun the whole time. Like Patrick Wilson was like a cool enough villain
as Ocean Master.
Yeah, like and the fact that they were saying the term, they were using the name Ocean Master seriously. To me was cool. And the one thing I really liked is that James Wan did a cool thing where like he was like, I'm gonna make a world here, and like I'm not gonna like try to like make this world super set in stone in case they make a sequel and I'm not directing it.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I'm not gonna James Gunn this where this is my world and no one else can touch it. He was like, I'm gonna give you a brush of everything here, and if you want to go in on this, you can.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like a really smart idea on his part. And like the fact that he showed like the different kingdoms being totally different were great.
I don't even
like the fishermen are literally just mer people. The brine are all crab people. The trench, South Park crab people.
I literally whispered that to I was like, crab.
I did that too. I did that to my friend. I whispered that to my friend Logan, who I was watching it with, because I was like, look like crab, act like people. Like, like they were literally crab people, and it was really like. I thought that final battle scene was like weird but cool.
It was mass, but the whole ocean,
which I liked.
It was great. It was great.
I also like the idea of like when they were like, we're gonna attack back, they dump all warships and dirt onto like onto land, where it's like, we could have done this before, but we're just gonna see how far you guys are gonna go with this.
As if there's like that moment, I was like, oh, is this movie gonna like try to do like a green commentary?
No, but it didn't, which was cool. They were just like, that's annoying. Let's get rid of it. Also, in my head, I was like, so are the oceans like totally clean in this world now?
Apparently,
because that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I was like,
the beaches are a mess.
Sucks for the surface. I was like, you know what's really funny? People who work on the cleaners who have to go clean this in the surface, they're just going to dump it right back on the water.
Yeah, probably. Where else are they going to put it?
Yeah, it's just...
Well, actually, we can put it in space because they have Superman.
Yeah.
They could technically
also, one of the really cool things about this movie, because a lot of times...
talk about the mascara.
Well, because a lot of times, like, my commentary for some of the Marvel movies is like, if it's this big of a threat, where's everyone else?
Yeah,
like this
movie did a good job of like,
it's confined to the ocean. You can't call anyone. So I thought that was like a really like smart idea on James Wan's part, where it's like, but also like everything didn't take place in the city of Atlantis.
No, my favorite scene in the whole movie is the Sicily set piece.
Yeah, which was really good.
It was really, really cool.
The whole thing was like a lot of this movie did like a lot of really small things that like went full circle within the film itself, which I thought was cool.
Okay.
Like when they go inside the whale and he's like, oh, I saw this in Pinocchio, and then she gets the Pinocchio book. Like that was like a little thing that like went full circle. Like there were just like these like cool little moments that like made sense, you know, which I thought was like awesome. And the cool thing about this movie is that I felt like it's one of the only superhero movies that like tread into the Indiana Jones archetype territory. It was more of like a map film than like there was a lot of action sequences, but like also you can tell James Wan took a lot of like inspiration from the Winter Soldier based on some of these like that submarine scene felt very the beginning of Winter Soldier. Also, he took a lot of inspiration from WWE because Jason Mamoa was literally a wrestler throughout the whole movie.
He was just kind of like smacking people down.
He fireman carried a man and then ran through a door. And I was like, what the shit?
I know.
And I mean, you could like, he was throwing that like the door thing like a shield, which I was like, this is real Captain America of James Wan. But like, I mean, I had fun with it. I thought that was a cool sequence in general. He like when you have a superhero like Aquaman who's like super bulletproof.
Is he bulletproof? I don't know.
Yeah, he is bulletproof.
Powers.
He's bulletproof. So he's got enhanced strength. He can't fly, but he can jump really high and really long distances. It's weird. It's because before Superman was able to fly when he was first made, he was also able to jump really high and really long distances.
Right, leaps and bounds.
Literally, Aquaman can do the exact same thing, and the real explanation is because if your body's made to be strong enough to understand, like to go through the pressures of the deep trenches of the sea, then on land,
he would be able to do
light as a feather, stiff as a board, baby.
Right, right.
So that's kind of the reason why he's bulletproof is because like the pressure doesn't like really affect him. It's not like he has impenetrable skin.
Yeah, I mean whatever. But
like I really like that like Atlantis was like, well, we've got weaponry that's gonna work, and we use water and make it plasma because scientifically that makes sense.
Nope.
Whatever.
I didn't care.
I didn't either. This is one of the movies where like so many things were inaccurate, and I was like, I don't care.
I didn't care. Sharks can't stop swimming.
Well, they can when you ride them like horses.
Yeah.
Also, the sharks were roaring underwater.
The sharks were roaring underwater.
And I was like, maybe that's the sound they actually made.
The sharks were roaring underwater, and I was obsessed. I was so happy.
I was into it. Nicole Kidman ate that fish.
Nicole Kidman ate that fucking fish in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So the first 5 minutes of this movie is Nicole Kidman, like, kind of, like, it's basically Arthur Curry, who's Aquaman, explaining his little backstory or whatever. And it's Nicole Kidman fucking the clone from, or Jango Fett from the prequels.
That is Jango Fett from the prequels. Ooh, Jango got Jango'd.
Yeah. So Nicole Kidman, within 2 minutes of this movie being a movie, is like eating a goldfish as if she's never gonna see food ever again. Yeah. And it put me in the right place to watch this whole thing.
It was at that moment when I was like, this movie is gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's a shot when she turns of a goldfish half hanging out of Nicole Kidman's mouth. And I was like, okay.
And then, like, 2 minutes later, she, like, beats up everybody, and it's awesome.
2 minutes later, she has, like, a really cool action sequence.
She's so cool.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman was cool in this movie.
She was. She was barely in it, but when she was there, I was like, this is alive.
Yeah, it made sense.
Same thing with Boy Erased. Aquaman and Boy Erased. Whenever Nicole Kidman's on screen, the movie's alive.
Honestly, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's true.
But, like, I wouldn't... But I think, like, the thing about this movie is that this movie was alive throughout for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, the whole time I was just, like, having fun, and that's kind of what I wanted from the movie. Mm-hmm. Because I was, like, in my head, I was like, I don't care if I'm going to walk in here and give this movie, like, 2 fucking huffs.
No,
like,
I didn't care.
I was like, I don't care. I just want to have fun while watching it.
And
it was fun. And I saw the movie in 3D.
Did I? I don't remember.
I saw it in 3D because 3D was the only like 8:20 showing, and I wasn't gonna go like at 11:45 on Thursday. Okay. But I don't regret that I saw it in 3D because it was like, it like the 3D looked cool.
Like fun, yeah.
Yeah, the 3D looked cool. It was fun. Like,
I want to say I didn't see it in 3D. I don't remember.
I'm gonna see it again, but I'm gonna see it again in 2D just to like kind of give myself one and the other. And like, I think like when it comes down to like DC movies for me, like one of the problems that I have is that like halfway through the movie, I'm sitting in the seat like, can this just be fucking over?
Yeah.
Like Suicide Squad, I was like, the only movie where I wasn't really like that was Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, I had fun.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's fucking great.
Yeah.
But like Suicide Squad, I was like, I want this to be over. Batman versus Superman, after they fought, I was like, this can be done. Man of Steel
is a slog.
Fucking mess.
So yeah, no, I mean, as far as the DCEU, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I guess whatever. No, I mean, I would put this under Wonder Woman.
Yep.
I would say I would put this under Wonder Woman by a fairly wide margin, and higher than the rest by also a fairly wide margin.
Yeah.
Because this movie isn't like very good, but it is deeply fun.
It's not very good, but it's not bad either.
The script is pretty atrocious, I would say.
Is it? Do you think so?
Maybe less so the script and more so the pacing.
Okay.
Because like, I mean, look, the story of Arthur Curry coming to the throne like he's supposed to and defeating his brother, guess what? That's Thor 1. And that's fine. I don't even mind that very much. But like, thinking back to the first Thor movie, which also isn't very good,
it's really bad.
Thor at least kind of it let Chris Hemsworth breathe into the role a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it let Natalie Portman really kind of like dig her claw. And Amber Heard, I would say, really does do a good job in this movie.
Oh, Amber Heard does.
That character really worked for me.
Mira was the shit.
Mira was so cool when she throws all the wine.
Oh yeah, I was like,
screamed.
Fucking dope.
I screamed. At one point, Mira can control water, and she breaks like a whole rack of wine from behind her in a wine store in Sicily, and she throws them as spikes at people, and I cried. But no, I feel like Jason Mamoa wasn't really given a whole lot of time to breathe in this movie, because I felt like his arc was very like, hey, do you want to come to Atlantis to fight your brother? No, but sure. And then like he loses, and then they're like, oh, we should go like find this trident, and he's like, all right, I guess. And like there just wasn't enough like beats in there to for this movie to really like land emotionally. And not that I'm saying Aquaman needs to be, on the same level as like, any dramatic movie we've seen. This Boy Erased. But like, in one thing, and this is probably, I hope it's the only thing I'm going to say in favor of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in this podcast, is that Marvel at least gives its heroes the light of day to like really like have character development and everything. And I felt like this movie was speeding past his character development.
Well, so the one thing I can say about this movie, I think that James Wan didn't care. James Wan cared more about what cool moments he could have in the movie.
Yes.
More so than the actual story in the movie.
Yes.
I think James Wan was like, what visuals can I give you, and how quickly can I get to those from visuals to visuals? Because if you notice, the stuff where James Wan gets to do the real fun cinematography and the fun action are really long.
Yeah.
And then we get from place to place real quickly.
Yeah. No, yes, I agree.
This movie, to me, had a lot of similarities to Thor 1. Mm-hmm. But the place where it differed for me 100% was like, because you're supposed to root for Thor, but you're also kind of rooting for Loki because you love Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston, for me, if we're talking about Thor, didn't really come into the role until the second time he played it. So in that first Thor movie, I wasn't really like that much into Loki. And I think that criticism holds up. I haven't seen Thor in
forever. Shit, Thor 1, he didn't have the hammer, and then there was the Destroyer, they were in New Mexico. Like,
yeah.
I just literally, that whole movie just flashed before my eyes.
The Thor series is,
Well, Ragnarok is great. But the difference also for it with me was just like, I think that like, in Thor, in Ragnarok is where they let Chris Hemsworth actually have fun.
Yeah.
Here, they were like, Jason Momoa, do what you want.
Right. Oh, totally.
And enjoy every second of it, because I think like that's where Jason Momoa works best, in my opinion. Yeah. When he gets to be himself. Like he just did SNL a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Like it was a really good episode of, this season of SNL has actually been really good. Yeah. But like, I think like that's where he works best, and I think James Wan understood that, and James Wan was like, I'll let you do what you want in between here. Just give me my action for the visuals and we're set. Yeah.
I did need, especially in the first act or so, I definitely needed a little bit more of just like what was his struggle in this movie? And I mean, I know it's like him trying to, fulfill his destiny or whatever and find his mom, but like I needed a little bit more, like not even enough that it's, the movie loses any ounce of its fun, but I just needed a little bit more there to like care about.
So I think so. The thing that I got from this movie is like he is like the one thing I kind of liked about this is that he didn't have like this deep confliction when it came to Atlantis. It was like they killed my mom, so I don't care about them, so I'm gonna go on about my life normally.
Yeah.
And then that giant tidal wave happens, and then like he thinks he loses his dad for a second. That's where he's like, "All right, fuck it, I guess I'll go."
Yeah, totally.
And he was like, his thing was like, "I'm only going to stop the war." So like he wasn't even going to become king. He was like, I'm just going to stop the war. And then that's when he's also a pig-headed asshole.
Right.
So, like, he was like, I'm going to challenge my brother into something I don't even know. And, like, even halfway through the fight, even that's the reason why he was so quick to even get out of there, in my opinion, because he was just like, all right, if you have a plan that'll help us kind of come back here and stop this, cool. But, like, to him, he was like, I just want to stop this war so that then I can kind of get back to doing what I'm doing. And I think that, like, in Sicily and on the way to the trench is kind of where he was kind of like, I guess I gotta be, because like he was like, no matter what I do, they're gonna keep coming up here.
Yeah.
And he noticed that in Sicily, because while they were like on their adventure, I think he sort like you can kind of tell that like as a character maybe he sort of forgot. He sort of was just like, I'm just here to find this thing, get this over with. Mm-hmm. And then he saw these fucking killers with these very powerful killers, and he was like, well, fuck. And then this one thing is shooting fucking plasma out of its head. By the way, the way he beat Black Manta was kind of brutal.
Oh, it was.
Black Manta falling off that mountain. I was like,
yeah,
fuck.
No, yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, and I liked that, but it was just like
that too.
And so I also want to get into this. The things about James Wan is like James Wan wanted to just work in his wheelhouse. That one sequence in the trench on the boat to me was like really cool. When they were like,
you mean the final fight?
No, on the boat when the little trench creatures were like jumping onto the boat.
Yes.
Oh
my god, the visuals when they dive into the ocean.
Yeah, James Wan does amazing. Well, James Wan, we already know he does amazing with horror, and this was like a horror sequence.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
And it felt like the first jump scare of that. So when Mira turns around and there's that like, it looks, I don't know, it's like a fucking
trench creature,
evil fairy.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it.
Evil ocean fairy.
Evil ocean. Oh god, we're so gay.
They have like little wings and whatever. Yeah. So the evil ocean fairy, like the first time you see it, it's like pretty scary, but it's not. There's not like a jump scare. Like there's no like loud bang or whatever.
No,
be like here. It's just like genuinely freaky.
And to be honest with you, Amber Heard's acting really came through there. Yeah, she looked fucking terrified.
She did. No, I mean, I will say Amber Heard really, really saves the narrative of this movie for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think that the narrative of this movie follows Amber Heard. Like Amber Heard wants this more. Like Meryl wants this more than Arthur Curry wants this.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, and you can see that throughout the film. Mm-hmm. To even where, like, they're in the trench, and he's like, we gotta turn around. And she's like, no. Fuck you don't. No.
Yeah.
I didn't think that this romance thing was, like, shoehorned in, like some movies do, where it was, like, kind of an afterthought.
Well, I kind of felt like it was.
Well, the only reason why I didn't think so was because, like, their rapport in Justice League was like, okay, I can see this. And then, like, her just showing up on the shore, I was like,
wait. I remember them meeting in Justice League.
Yes.
Doesn't she introduce herself?
Yes, they don't exchange names in Justice League.
What do they do? Because in Justice League, it was implied that they knew each other.
No, so in Justice League, the way it goes, I guess the way I'm seeing it, because this I could totally be wrong here. They're like, in Atlantis, there's this cylinder. By the time he gets down there is when Steppenwolf is attacking. Yeah. He goes to fight Steppenwolf. She's already fighting Steppenwolf. He's like, I need to grab this cylinder. She's like, cool. Then he leaves.
I barely remember Justice League.
Yeah, don't remember. It wasn't good. But like...
Okay, I don't particularly care about the continuity of these DC movies, but...
And I think what happened... And I think that you can kind of tell that, like, she's maybe come to him multiple times on the surface before she shows up that one time where she's like... That. Well, because when she comes up to him, like, he kind of, like, finishes her sentences like, yeah, you want me to come do this? No, thank you, when he's driving in the car. Right before he takes his dad in the car after they were drinking. Because she kind of just pops up on the surface and is, like, staring at him, and he's like... you want this, I don't want this. Can we just there wasn't like that big expository moment where she's like, we need you for this. It was kind of like,
which I kind of appreciated because like the movie just kind of it was kind of forgiving to its audience in knowing that they would just
they'd get it,
get it and go along with it. And this movie asks you to go along with a lot. And I think it mostly, as far as a big blockbuster asking you to do that, I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, this movie is a frat boy movie.
Yeah,
this is a superhero movie for frat boys.
But there are also like some beautifully gay moments.
Are there?
The wine. She literally.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a gay moment.
It's 100% a gay moment. Nicole Kidman eating a fish is a gay moment. Yes.
I'm just trying to figure out what's gay about it.
She's a queen, and she eats a fish, and it's funny. That's what's gay about
it. What I need you to do is, for the next 2 weeks, every movie you watch, just write a list of gay moments from the movie.
You got it.
And they're just going to be like these random things that don't connect to anything that you're just like, this is gay.
It's Willem Dafoe's S&M outfit. It's
Willem Dafoe's ponytail is a gay moment. I can give you that one. And I was like, we're gonna trust this?
Yeah. Patrick Wilson in general is a gay moment.
His slick back was weird for me. I wasn't not into it,
but I still will lick my lips.
I was like, man, is that what his head is shaped like?
Yeah, apparently it is.
Wow.
What did you think of the way they talked underwater? I liked it.
Yeah, it made sense because they're underwater.
Well, because like in Justice League, if I remember, they have to like create like bubbles around themselves or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like I really like how like after Justice League came out, everyone was asking James Wan, what are you gonna do with them talking? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna do this like the entire movie? And he was like, nah, they're just gonna talk.
I mean, they can breathe, so they can speak.
Yeah. He was like, nah, they're just gonna do it. And I was like, that's great.
I liked it.
That's great. I don't want to think too hard about anything about like the underwater society.
Yeah.
Just like let it exist. Thank you, James Wan.
I mean, I was just
for an octopus playing the bongos.
That was so cool to me.
Hilarious.
I thought that was like so fun.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing that I liked about this movie. There were just like some really like cool, fun things that were like happening.
Yep.
Those giant fucking like lasers.
Yep.
On top of the wall or whatever.
Yep.
When they were
the amount of times that I like guffawed in Glee in the theater.
Yeah.
At like some fucking dumb little fish that was like on screen was a lot.
I mean, sharks roaring. Whatever those like seahorse things were.
Like sea dragons. They were
cool.
Giants. Yeah.
Yeah, they were cool.
Oh my god. And when they go to the Lost World, when they go to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And there's like, they like crash on the beach where there's like 18 velociraptors just like trolling around the beach and then they wake up and none of them are there.
No, remember
hilarious.
They like ran away. They started running when they were coming out on the water and I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool.
Right. Because for a second, Aquaman decides it goes to Jurassic Park.
So, like, one of the cool things that happened here that I really enjoyed was, like, when they get into the Lost World or whatever and he has to, like, get that trident.
Yeah.
He doesn't fight that big creature.
Yeah, I like that,
because any Marvel movie...
Yeah, there would be, like, a big CGI
would have had
fight.
a giant CGI fight where he's punching a creature.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is so stupid. And really, the creature was like, oh, you can talk to me? That's cool. No one can talk to me except for that guy.
Do you know who the voice of the creature was?
Yeah, Julie Andrews.
Yeah!
Which also made my friend have a theory that, like... They just took her audio from the table read without her consent.
I love, you know what I love?
Or also, that they cut together audio from every movie she's ever done to put this together.
Oh, I know. You know what I kind of love about Julie Andrews' cameo in this? And I know that there's almost no way that this was like totally intentional. Mm-hmm. But Aquaman came out the same week as Mary Poppins Returns. And guess what movie she appears in and doesn't appear in? She's in fucking Aquaman and she's not in Mary Poppins.
I thought she was in Mary Poppins.
She's not.
Oh, that's...
Dick Van Dyke is.
Yeah, and so it's Meryl Streep that's in there. She's not in Mary Poppins.
No, and that's fucking hilarious. That, like, one of arguably her most famous role ever, and she doesn't, like, have a little cameo, and yet she voices a fucking Kraken in Aquaman. That is hilarious.
That's hilarious. That's really cool to me. I liked
it's
it.
really cool.
So like the one thing I do want to say is like the armor that he took. We're not just no one's gonna talk about the fact that he took it off a dead dude.
The armor that he took?
Yeah, the king armor.
Oh, well, yeah. Wasn't that like his big ancestor or something?
Well, that dude was the corpse was still there.
Well, yeah.
And then he grabbed the trident, and then the corpse turned to dust, and we're just not gonna act like he was like.
Well, no, wait. Didn't the armor like swirl around him and like?
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
It did not.
Yes, it did.
No, he took the trident. The trident light swirled around him. Right behind him, the corpse. Everything just kind of falls. Like the skeleton kind of goes away. Because like when he's
Star Wars.
No, because when he's holding the trident, he's just holding it, and then he comes out with the armor on, and I'm like, so he put on a dead dude's clothes.
It was clean.
No, because that king had the armor before the trident was made.
No, I know that, but wasn't there like a shot where the orangey stuff was coming off of the armor, like swirling around him?
No.
I thought it just like came onto him.
The light from the trident was coming around because like it was kind of imbuing him as worthy.
And then I thought the armor just like went on him.
Did not.
So there's a deleted scene of him like pulling off.
There's 100% a deleted scene
taking off
of him shaking off a dead dude's clothes and the Kraken going, "Are you gonna really? Are you sure?" He's like, "Yep, I'm doing it."
I love that.
He's like, "And you know what? My size somehow."
That's great. That's gonna put this movie up another huff.
Oh yeah. And then like that final battle scene was a mess but fun at the same time.
Yeah, no, I liked. I for me, all the action that was not underwater was better than the action that was under. The action underwater was just like mostly is just a CGI fuckfest.
Yeah,
and the choreography was like pretty bad in most of those because you can't. I mean, you can do good CGI category, but choreography, but it wasn't here.
Yeah.
Whereas the above ground action scenes absolutely had the good choreography. So yeah, the final fight was a lot of fun because they went to the surface or whatever. But also before that, when he comes roaring past, like while he's riding the fucking Kraken, and he like unleashes an army of ocean animals that he's like commanding because he talks to them. Because Aquaman talks to fish. That's this whole thing.
Well, it's supposed to be more of like a sonar situation.
Whatever.
Like, it's just like a psionic connection between him and sea life.
I don't care. He talks to fish.
I don't think he speaks.
But I loved. He talks to the Kraken.
Well, the Kraken can speak because she's 1,000 years old.
Well, okay, maybe those whales are all 1,000 years old too, because he can speak to them. So, like, no, when he politely asks all the fish to join his army.
Yeah,
which is another deleted scene that I wish was in this movie.
Hey guys, you guys want to join?
And like you see just like the big wave of fish. I was like, this is the most Aquaman-y movie moment that I can picture, and I'm living for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this movie had a lot of things that, like, could be stupid in any other context, but for some reason really work here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the reasons why I really like this movie is because, like, it really took it grasped on a lot of things that, like, if anyone else did this for any other movie, you'd be like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
But, like, for here, it was, like, fun. Like, and I think the cool thing about this movie is, like, this movie is a lot like that friend you had in high school who, like, wasn't that smart, but you had so much fun with that person. Yeah. And even though they were a total doofus, you were, like, always down to hang out.
That's how I feel about this. Like, pretty much exactly. That's a good
Yeah. I'm really good at those analogies.
What a good analogy.
Yeah, I'm good at it.
Do you have any final thoughts? Anything else that you want to bring up?
Any final thoughts on Aquaman? Not really. Like, the thing about this movie is, like, I feel like we can't even get, like, too deep into it because there's not a lot to it.
No, there's not a lot to it. I'm realizing that as we're talking, most of what we're talking about are, like, the little moments that James Wan got to include that were, like, amazing and gleeful. Whereas, like, if we talk about the actual story, the thing falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the story falls apart.
I think it kind of falls apart. Black Manta just, like, is there for, like, a minute, and then, like, he's gone.
Well, because he's the B-story villain.
He's the better villain.
You didn't like ocean master. You didn't like that word being thrown around there seriously?
I loved that word being thrown around a lot, and I loved his like goofy little mask that looks like a sea urchin.
Well, yeah, that's the mask. That's his comic. He was the outfits here were all very comic accurate, which I really did enjoy.
It's fucking Aquaman. You either have to go like X-Men, where you do like the like all the black suits, or you go full comic book on this. And I'm so happy they went with the latter.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more final things here?
No, not really. I'm trying to think. Because I feel like even when watching this movie, I was like, I don't really have notes for the movie.
Same. I was kind of just like, I'm happy that this exists. I'm happy that sharks are roaring on my big screen.
I think we're pieces of shit because we went so deep. Like last week was like If Beale Street Can Talk, one of like the most in-depth conversations we've ever had about a movie. Yeah. And then this movie we're like, all right.
There was an octopus.
Yeah. Sharks
roared. No, but I think that's indicative of like the movie itself.
Yeah.
I mean, like this movie is what builds the things that work about this movie are all the weird little moments that we're talking about.
That's true.
Amber Heard throwing wine at people and killing them with it.
Yeah.
Like, and then like, but I do think if you go into the story, it totally doesn't hold up. But I'm happy. I think those moments that James Wan includes overcome the story's weaknesses. Mm-hmm. And overall, I do think it's a good movie.
Yeah, me too. So,
okay. How many huffs?
How many huffs am I going to get it? I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 3.5.
Okay. I'm going 3.
Okay. 3
huffs for Aquaman.
Oh.
Can we do huffs with like that little underwater sound noise they do?
So stupid.
You snorted. I was trying to think of like what they do with the water with the way they talk. It's like a little echo.
It's like a really reverb. Cool. So like when they're underwater,
yeah, so huff with that.
It sounds a lot like this.
Huff with it.
Oh my god, this is such a stupid podcast.
If you're turned off by how silly this episode is, please listen to our last couple.
Yeah, 100%. If you're listening for the first time, just kind of go up to Vox Logs, like go up to If Beale Street Could Talk, go listen to the favorite. Yeah. Listen to those. Listen to Anna and the Apocalypse. Actually,
yeah, that was a more fruitful conversation. But hey, Aquaman presented us with stuff to talk about, and we talked about them.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so yeah, 3 huffs from me, 3.5 huffs from Josh.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Do you have a recommendation?
I do. Okay. So recently on Netflix, they just released the Friday trilogy, written by Ice Cube, directed by, I totally blanked on his name just now. It's a cute little white dude.
It's a cute little white dude?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now.
How cute is he?
Well, he's not cute. He's not attractive. I say cute because he was just like an adorable little man. It is directed by F. Gary Gary. Oh, no, never mind. He was the black one. The white one did the second one.
Oh, dear. Well, the sequel's always worse.
Yeah. It's directed by F. Gary Gary, which, by the way, what kind of name is that? But it's... Stupid name. It's got Ice Cube. It's got Chris Tucker. It's got Nia Long, John Witherspoon, Regina King.
Regina King's in those?
Yeah, Regina King's in this. She plays his sister, Paula J. Parker. It's a really fun movie, and for any of you white gays a couple years ago that were using the term "Bye Felicia" and had no clue where the fuck it was from, get ready to watch this movie because this is where it's fucking from, and learn you some, get you some Lil. Anyway, it's just like a really fun movie. It literally takes place in the course of one day. It's just these two dudes.
Friday?
Yeah, it's a Friday. Every movie takes place on a Friday.
That's cute.
It's just like it takes place on a Friday. It's about these two dudes trying to get money for a drug dealer on a Friday. Just having like it's really funny because like it's one of those movies that like Ice Cube was kind of he was fresh off Boys in the Hood, I believe, and he was fresh out of NWA, and like he was really trying to expand on his talent and his business, and like this movie is kind of indicative of it because like his writing in this film works very well. Mm-hmm. Honestly, this movie treats women pretty well.
Okay.
In a time where like a lot of films didn't treat women well. Like I'm not saying women are treated perfectly. Like they're
interesting.
It's not like some If Beale Street Can Talk with the way women are treated, but like the women in this film, like there are so many archetypes. Like every woman doesn't fall into one archetype automatically. Okay. which I really liked about this movie. Every character kind of falls into like a different archetype, honestly. And it's just like a really weird comedy. Like, it's funny, but like a lot of the jokes are just like, oh fuck, I shouldn't laugh at that. This is something that really plagues the community, damn it. Because it takes place in Compton. But it's really good. It's one of my favorite movies. It was one of my favorite movies growing up.
They're pretty well celebrated, if I remember.
They are.
Especially the first one.
Friday's very well celebrated. Next Friday is alright. And then Friday after next is like, But like, they're fun. The thing about each movie is that each movie is fun. Friday's clearly the best, and as they go further, they get worse. But Friday's clearly the best, and Friday's just one of the... Like, my recommendation is all three, but honestly, if you really had to pick one, like, you put a gun in my mouth and go pick one or I'm blowing your brains out, I'm gonna go Friday. Easily. Okay. So, definitely give it a watch. It's on... All three of them are on Netflix. Also, with Christmas coming up, Friday after next is a Christmas movie.
Aww.
So, it's not what you think. So... It's not heartfelt at all. So if you're anywhere near into that, definitely give it a go.
Okay, cool.
What's your rec?
My recommendation this week is a movie that came out this year that I loved. Hereditary is coming onto Amazon on December 27th, which should be like a day after this comes out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're releasing on Wednesdays during the holidays, right?
Yeah. I mean, we can go for 2. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We can just keep it on. It's really about Apple. I'm okay with just going on Tuesdays.
I don't think they'll even upload it on Tuesday. We should probably upload it Monday.
Yeah, we'll do it Monday and then
Anyway, Hereditary is directed by Ari Aster. It's his debut. Toni Collette is amazing. It's a terrifying horror film.
It's a good fucking movie.
We'll be talking about it. I'll be talking about it in a couple of weeks when we do our top 10 again.
We'll also be talking about it when awards start flying through.
Potentially. I would love if Toni Collette got nominated, but she's starting to fall off a little.
But I feel like they're gonna snag an Indie Spirit at least.
She got nominated for Indie Spirits. Yeah.
So we'll see.
And I think he got nominated. Ari Aster probably got nominated for Best First Time Director. I hope.
I think so. I think he did.
He's so good. I love this movie. It is tough. It is tough. Do not watch this with your family over Christmas. I made the mistake of watching this movie with my family over Thanksgiving, and oof. Don't watch this movie with your family over Christmas. But if you need to escape and you're like pretty done with your family, this movie is pretty anti-family.
I think I might make my family watch this. Just to be like, hey guys, just watch it. Thank you.
Otherwise, next week, we're going to review Vice. Anna McKay.
Let me not get too excited, because the last time I got really excited for a movie, I ended up being super indifferent towards it.
Which one was that?
Vox Lux.
Fair enough. But you were excited for Beale Street, right?
Yes, I was very excited for Beale Street also.
So yeah, that's our next episode. We're very excited.
I'm really excited for Vice.
This episode obviously will be definitely available on iTunes on Wednesday, because we normally release on Tuesdays, and Christmas and New Year's Day are both Tuesdays this year. So look for us on Wednesdays. I assume you're not looking on.
Honestly, by the time they listen to this, it doesn't matter what fucking day it's gonna go up. Because it's gonna be up already.
it'll regardless. We're gonna make sure that these are up on Wednesdays. Just the 2 biggest holidays of the year on Tuesdays this year. So Twitter and Instagram, Josh?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna start with Twitter. If you're gonna go for Twitter, I'm on Twitter at JRanosaurus. Jesus Christ. I don't know why I blanked on my Twitter. My Twitter is at JRanosaurus, JAYRANOSAURUS, at JRanosaurus. I'm never changing it, so leave me alone. And then my Instagram is at @OGreat_it's Josh, all one word, whatever. And then if you want to follow our Instagram, are at Poppers and Popcorn, straight through. That's the Instagram. I'm having so much fun with it, so have fun with me with it. Oh, Gage just followed you too?
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at
I like them. They're really good. It's another good podcast.
But yeah, no, our Instagram's popping a little bit. We're good. You're close to surpassing my personal followers.
Are we really?
Yeah, kind of. I also don't have many and don't interact on Instagram that much. As for me, my Instagram and Twitter, my Instagram is COtter318. Thank you, Josh. And my Twitter is Dr_Dougherty, DR_DOUGHERTY. And if you would like, You can send us questions, concerns, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to send
recipes.
Send us your vids to poppersandpopcorn@gmail.com.
We actually have something in the email that I have to run over with you.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. And otherwise, we will see you next Wednesday.
See you next Tuesday, bitches.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays. We love you.
Kwanzaa. Bye.
Bye.